You might not have my name, but you have my blood. The man who passes the sentence should swing the sword.
When you play the Game of Thrones, you win or you die.
You don't want to wake the dragon, do you?
Power resides where men believe it resides.
The things I do for love. You know, the boy lives to be a cripple.
I'm guilty of being a dwarf.
There is only one God, and his name is death.
And there is only one thing we say to death. Not today.
Hello. Welcome in, everybody. How's everybody doing? We are on Game of Thrones episode 7 this evening. I appreciate you being here, Corey. I know it's late. Thank you very much. I will endeavour to entertain you for the next 30 minutes, my friend. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. You know I do. I know it's late over in the UK, but we'll get there. These are always available for anybody to watch on the rerun as well. You don't have to be here live. Although it is more fun and more interactive if you are here live. Tonight I'm on my own. This is my solo episode. Charles got called into work at the very last minute. So we're here tonight on our own. It's going to be fun. We're going to have some good conversations. I have some talking points. I have some questions that I posed to Charles that I will pose to you guys. Hello, LSAPC. Welcome in. Good to see you, my friend. All of a sudden, my mouth went super dry. Cool. Let's take a breath. Let's do this. What did you guys think of the intro? Did you see the intro? I don't know if anybody did. I will play it one more time because we've now got 5 people in. I think when I played it was 2. So it's 1 minute and 26 seconds long. So bear with me. I just want people to see it, and then we'll get on with the show.
You might not have my name, but you have my blood. The man who passes the sentence should swing the sword.
When you play the Game of Thrones, you win or you die.
You don't want to wake the dragon, do you?
Power resides where men believe it resides.
The things I do for love. You know, the boy lives to be a cripple.
I'm guilty of being a dwarf.
There is only one God, and his name is death.
And there is only one thing we say to death. Not today.
Yeah, I love that intro. I've watched it a million times. I want to thank the people that were involved with it. I don't want to meant to say any names in case anybody doesn't want their names said out, but music that was provided throughout that intro, you might have understood and listened that it was played on a piano by people in the chat. So yeah, it was just amazing to have that sent to me, and I was able to use it in the intro. And yeah, YouTube are absolute bastards for copyright and all that kind of stuff. And if you were here last week, you'd have seen that they basically had their merry way with me because I played too many clips. But it's cool, you know, we'll get through it. Fidel is in the house. Good to see you, my friend. How you doing? Hola. And Corey says, awesome intro. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. I really do appreciate it. There's 8 of you in the chat. That's amazing. Let's go, shall we? So today's episode is called You Win or You Die. It's episode 7. We've got some slideshows that we'll go through as always. I also have some talking points. Charles is not with me this evening, as previously stated. So if you guys just want to speak up with questions and whatever, I'll do my best to answer them. We'll try and be here for the hour-long stated time. Anna Anonymity, good to see you. Saying hello in the chat. Nice to see you. Timer thing on the profile picture. I'm always interested in what people's profile pictures are. LSAP Sisters, fantastic intro. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it. So yeah, as we were saying, this episode is called You Win or You Die. And we get an introduction to Tywin Lannister in this episode. So in a tent set up at the edges of the Riverlands, Jaime Lannister is talking with his father, Lord Tywin Lannister, as the latter skins and butchers a recent kill. Tywin is methodical and precise, and seems to propose little humour. Jaime reads him the proclamation demanding Jaime be returned to King's Landing to face charges related to the attack on Ned Stark by his bannermen, Sir Gregor the Mountain Clegane. If Tywin fails to return, he will be named an enemy of the crown. Tywin comes in. Love the name Anna. Yeah, anonymity. Yeah, I thought there was a play with that. Tywin tells his son that he was stupid to attack Ned Stark. Jaime explains the reason, that Catelyn Stark took his brother Tyrion. So why isn't Ned Stark dead? Jaime explains how his bannermen had interfered and wounded Ned and finished him off. Then it wouldn't have been clean. Tywin is disgusted, but he will give Jaime half his army, some 30,000 men, to go to the Riverlands, Catelyn Stark's childhood home, and remain there. That the Lannisters will always pay their debts. Yeah, thanks a lot. Thanks. That intro was great. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. My picture is just a snip of a 24-hour clock. Yeah, I like it. I'm just always fascinated by people's choices. Like Corey in the chat is ever changing their profile picture, and I love it because I'm usually boring and stick to the same old one. Tywin is such an awesome character. I agreed, Corey. This show, hands down, was one of the best shows for casting. There's a reason why it's one of the best shows in the world. It's not just because I like it. It's factual in so many ways, and it won so many Oscars and accolades because of it. But the casting of this show is just immaculate. Like, the ones that jump to mind are Tywin Lannister and Brienne of Tarth, who was one of the best, and Sean Bean with Ned Stark, and yeah, there's so many. Tywin is definitely awesome, says Fidel. I agree, guys. If you could hit that like button for me, I'd appreciate it. It lets YouTube know that you're enjoying this kind of stream. It pushes it out to more people, and we can get more people in the chat for you guys to talk to while I go across my merry way with these texts on screen. For anybody that's new in the chat, usually I have my co-host Charles with me. He's here. He's never seen the show. He unfortunately got called into work very late this evening, and we have a motto as a group called the Horseman, that life always comes first. So yeah, that's that. Has to go to work. He can't say no. He's got a live stream with Milky. He's got to go to work. So I appreciate it. We send him our love. We hope he gets back soon and he's not too tired, and he can check out the episode and then the breakdown afterwards. But Jaime comments that he didn't realize that Tywin had put such a great value on Tyrion's life. Tywin scoffs. He's a Lannister. He might be the lowest of the Lannisters, but he's one of us. And every day that he remains a prisoner, the less our name commands respect. It's not that he cares about Tyrion's life as his son, but for the message that letting him remain a captive would send about the power and position of the Lannisters. And all that matters to him is that the Lannisters' name live on. We're going to risk it with some clips this evening. I'm just going to spread them out, but we do have some of my favourite lines from the show over this conversation. Here's one of them.
When you hear them whispering Kingslayer behind your back, doesn't it bother you?
Of course it bothers me.
A lion doesn't concern himself with the opinions of the sheep.
A lion doesn't concern himself with the opinions of the sheep. That's exactly how I felt last week when YouTube were kicking me off because of playing bloody clips to try and entertain you guys. I can see over glancing on my phone we are still live, so that's a good thing after playing the first clip. I don't know this day and age, but Tywin is not done spreading the fatherly love. He lets his eldest son know what a disappointment he has been. He was blessed many times over with gifts, and yet he has squandered them. He served as a glorified bodyguard to two kings, one a madman and the other a drunk. The father of the Lannisters rests on what happens in the next few months. They can establish a dynasty that will live on for 1,000 years or collapse into nothing like the Targaryens did.
Once, we could establish a dynasty that will last 1,000 years. Or we could collapse into nothing, as the Targaryens did.
Exactly. Fun fact, I added a little filter over the top of these clips to try and, get around the back door of YouTube's policies. The filter I added was called grayscale. I seen it in the options, and I thought, okay, that has to be added to this because it's a Game of Thrones reference, guys. So yeah, we will. If you leave yourself on screen while playing the clip, maybe they'll back off. Just what I've seen others doing on YouTube. No, Anna, I appreciate the feedback. Thank you very much. Yeah, I will need to figure that out. With StreamYard, I just load them up as images and they play 16:9. So I'll need to figure out how to get them to play whilst I'm on screen. But thank you very much for the feedback, because that's what we need. That's what we want to do here. We want to be able to provide you guys with the best live stream. And yeah, good point, says Fidel. I've seen many others do that too. I appreciate it, guys. I'm still learning now. You know, this is a passion of mine. Of Game of Thrones is one of my favorite things. Is my favorite thing to talk about, and to be able to do these live streams is an honor and a privilege. And I want to be able to provide you guys with the best stuff and not step on too many toes over at YouTube Land if we can. We'll spread out the clips this evening. I think we're still doing live. We're still live. Yeah, interesting. He should mention them. Wasn't Viserys talking about his importance to the Targaryen dynasty in the previous episode? So yeah, it's very interesting how the two episodes connect. And then we have the downfall of Ned Stark. Back at King's Landing, Queen Cersei comes to talk with Ned. She tries to encourage him to leave and go back home. Ned tells her that he knows the truth that Jon Arryn died for, the truth about her and Jaime. She doesn't deny it, and she said that the Targaryens had done the same thing to keep the bloodlines pure. More importantly, she and Jaime had a very special bond as they'd shared a wound together. They came into this world together, she says. Ned accuses her of trying to kill Bran because he saw them together, and she doesn't deny that either. I hate this episode. I've seen this season so many times now. I lose count, and every time the first season just gets worse for me with Ned, because yeah, I know everything he does is honorable, but the more I watch him just walk down that path of, I just want him to do something different. And I know he's not going to do anything different because it's just a TV show, but yeah, my heart goes on for Ned always. We'll get to that. But what she does deny is that she never loved Robert, and she never wished things could be different. And she never wished things could be different. She worshipped him back when he was the handsome young fighter, but he was in love with another, Ned's sister Lyanna, and there wasn't room in their marriage for both Lyanna's corpse and Cersei. So she's speaking figuratively here, but you get the idea. Do we have a clip? We do. It's the title of the episode, guys.
When you play the Game of Thrones, you win or you die. There is no middle ground.
That helps me bring up a question. You win or you die. What does the title mean? I want you guys to think about what the title means for certain characters in the show. Like, does you win or you die work for Jon Snow in the North? Does it work for Stannis Baratheon? Does it work for Littlefinger? You know, we'll probably come on to those kind of topics in a video coming up, but I would love for people to start thinking about those things as we're going through the episodes. What if moments and all that kind of stuff. What if, you know, the things that happened in episode 9 didn't happen, and Ned was sent to the wall and stuff like that? What would have happened? You know, it's very interesting. I'd love to have those kind of conversations with people. Ned gives Cersei the chance to get out of King's Landing safely. He tells her that she and her children should leave the capital before Robert comes back from the hunt. But Cersei has some advice for Ned. She tells Ned that he should have taken the Iron Throne when he had the chance. Right after King's Landing fell, Jaime was seated on the throne. He stood up, and Ned could have taken his place and been king. That was his mistake, because when you play the Game of Thrones, you win or you die. She said it. There's the only decent image of the next scene, because everything else was boobs and ass, so I wasn't able to risk it there. We've got we're popping here from Pop in Missouri. Popping in the Show Me State goes, "Hey, what's up, everybody? Wish I could be there. Hopefully, be home in a few hours." And a lighter note. In a lighter note, does anyone need any water? We have plenty. Definitely. LSAP says she is such a snake, calm, cool, and collected while admitting all her wrongs. Yeah, completely. Epic scene. She was so calm. Oh, epic. So again, I said it earlier on about casting, didn't I? But Lena Headey, I don't think anybody could have played Cersei any better than what Lily Headley did. And I know in retrospect, you know, we say that because that's all we know, but there was other people that played her. You know, Tamsin Outhwaite was the one in the pilot that was never seen, and there's reasons why it was never seen. So, you know, yeah, raining much, Poppin? Lol, says Fidel. Jeremy also says, I think it applies to everyone. The Game of Thrones is way deeper than who wears the crown. Very, very philosophical, I can't say that word, philosophical words from our maester over at LSAPC. I think it applies to everybody. The Game of Thrones is way deeper than who wears the crown. I like it. I like it. Remember that was said. I like it a lot. Roz and another girl are at Littlefinger's brothel interviewing for a job. He gives them pointers at how whoring is done in the capital. Roz asks if Littlefinger wants to join in on them, but he says he's saving himself for another, someone who he's loved most of his life and who has loved him too. Okay. In the series, his first example of sex position, they use the distraction of the girls making out to allow Littlefinger to go into a detailed exposition of his backstory. He starts to tell them the story of his unrequited love for Catelyn Stark. I was her little confidant, her plaything, but she told him about the man she wanted to marry, a northerner with a jaw like an anvil. So Littlefinger challenged him into a duel. Littlefinger was outmatched. In the end, she wouldn't even let him kill me. But the man, who we know was Ned's older brother, gave Littlefinger a scar to remember him by. In the end, she didn't even marry him. He was killed before the wedding. She ended up with his younger brother. So Littlefinger's been scheming all this time. And here's a fantastic image of Peter Baelish. Aidan Gillen is a fantastic actor. So what lesson did Littlefinger take away? That he'd never win. Playing their game with their rules, he's going to fuck them. That's how he's going to get what he wants, which is everything. Littlefinger is the snake in the grass, the biggest snake in the grass, in my opinion, especially in season 1. And he has many hands and many fingers in many pies, and not as many as Varys, I would say. You know, Varys has his worms and his little birds, but yeah, it's definitely one of the better battles of the Spy Masters, in my opinion. I don't think House of the Dragon quite plays that off quite well with Mysaria and Larys. I think that they could definitely do more in season 3 with those two, especially. Like, you know, focus on a decent storyline with those kind of guys. I would love that. Hey, Johnny Knight, good to see you, my friend. How you doing? I appreciate you coming in, Johnny. I know you've got your live stream this evening, so I hope you have fun on that. I know it's the last episode of your like haunted, crazy game where you play in these hazmat suits with Johnny, with Hojo. It's been fun watching you. So yeah, guys, I know after my live stream, you can check out Johnny Knight's live stream. He'll be doing his last episode over on there, and that's what we like to do in this community. We like to share around with each other and make sure that everybody goes around and connects with each other. There's 10 people in the chat. Let's fucking go, guys. I appreciate each and every one of you stopping in. I really, really do. Let's keep going. We've got loads of slides. Theon Greyjoy is talking to Osha, the wildling that was captured after the failed ambush on Bran last episode. He tells her that where he comes from, she wouldn't have had it so easy. He describes how that he would have slowly killed her for doing the same thing if she were on the Iron Islands. He tries to insult her and put her in her place, but she manages to hold her own. As he gets a little too familiar with her, Maester Lewin breaks in and breaks it up, but Osha tells Lewin not to worry, as she can protect herself, because there's bigger and uglier men up north than Theon Greyjoy. LSAP says he learned he can win a battle without a sword. Yeah. I like that too. You're very philosophical. I can't say that word. I'm putting myself in a hole every time I try to say it. Very, very knowledgeable tonight. I love it. Johnny Knight has let us know that no, it was cancelled. He'll be doing it on Friday instead. Just had a couple of issues. No worry, my friend. We appreciate you letting us know and giving us an update while we were live. We apologise that I didn't see that already. Tonks, shouts Fidel. Oh yeah, Tonks indeed. Ooh, 31 nights of Halloween horror gaming reviews. Ooh, I like it. I like it a lot. That's a good one. That's a good one. Guys, please let me know in the chat as well. How's my Wi-Fi doing? Am I breaking up? Am I stuttering? How's it going? This is a new Wi-Fi. I've just switched from Sky broadband to Vodafone broadband. Last week when I did one with Charles, it was very, very bad. But tonight seems to be okay. I'm holding 10 viewers, so don't think it's that bad, but we will continue. Let me just check. I don't have any more clips to play. No, not just yet. Lewin asks why she and her fellow wildlings came down this way, and then she explains that their plan was to get as south goes. There are things that sleep during the day and hunt at night, the White Walkers. He tells her that they've been gone for thousands of years, but she says that they weren't gone. They were just sleeping. And then Sam and John are chilling on top of the wall, talking about girls, when they see a horse coming their way from the north. It is Benjamin Stark's horse, and it has no rider. Very interesting. Everyone says that the Wi-Fi is good, the stream is doing good, appreciate it. Guys, thank you very much for the feedback, and yeah, I love you all being here. Let's do this, shall we? Speaking of John and Sam, we have a clip.
I miss girls. Not even talking to them. I never talk to them. Just looking at them.
Oh, Sam. I miss girls, he says. Don't we all, Sam? Love it. Back at King's Landing, Renly rushes up to Ned with shocking news. King Robert has been critically wounded in the hunt, attacked by a boar. Ned finds Robert lying in a bed and talking to Joffrey, Cersei, Lewin, Lord Commander Barristan on the King's Guard, and Renly. They're all there as well. Joffrey looks devastated, and Robert tries to make peace with him. Apologizing for being a terrible father, Robert asks everybody but Ned to leave, and Cersei tries to object, but she's even sent away. Robert knows that he's dying and he doesn't have much time, and he asks Ned to write down his wishes and deliver the letter to the council upon his death. Ned will take the place of the king until his son Joffrey comes of age. Knowing now that Joffrey is not Robert's son, shock and horror, Ned takes creative licenses and liberties and changes the language to "my rightful heir." Robert signs it and is satisfied that he did something right. He also agrees with Ned to take the hit off of Daenerys Targaryen, so he has a change of heart on his deathbed. Robert was a great king, a fantastic king in my opinion, and yeah, I hope he rests well. I just hate that he was killed by a fucking pig. And here we have the "my rightful heir," such a fantastic line. Another missed opportunity to live by Ned. Yeah. Again, you don't need to feed the Discord with me about not liking Ned's decisions in this season. It really hurts me and irks at me that he did. If Robert would have let Cersei stay in the room, do you think anything would have changed? Do you think Cersei would have let Ned take power? I don't know. Robert was on his deathbed. He wasn't able to get up and physically do anything about it. But his King's Guard would have listened to him, I believe, more than her in that point. So they would have arrested her and they would have put her under watch in the Red Keep. So I think it might have changed. It's a very good question to pose. I love these kind of what if moments, and you know, I think we should do a live stream or a video where we definitely explore the what if moments in detail. And yeah, I think that's a good one. Dana in the chat, good to see you. Thanks for stopping in. I appreciate it. Loving everybody being here tonight. I think that Cersei would have killed Ned on the spot. Not if Robert was still alive in that bed. I disagree. I don't think she'd have done it if Robert was there. If Robert was still alive on the bed, I disagree. But that we can have this conversation in further detail. I have requested your presence if possible for the episode 9. And we can mark it and we can definitely talk about it in person on the live stream, because it's a good conversation, and I know having a conversation with you, Jeremy, will be very good regarding those kind of back and forths. So yeah, I welcome it. Let's keep going, shall we? Ned leaves and goes to talk to Barristan Selmy, who is blaming himself for not stopping Robert. But Robert was too drunk to listen. Varys, standing nearby, asks not so innocently or incautiously who piled Robert with all of the wine. It was his squire, Lancel Lannister, the Queen's cousin. Ned tries to salvage at least the Targaryen girl's life, asking Varys to stop the plot before it's carried out, but he tells Ned that she's likely dead already. Fidel, I think she would have been pissed and get Jaime's help. Oh yeah, it would have caused. I think it would have caused the war a lot sooner than it probably does, and maybe we wouldn't have had Joffrey on the throne, because Joffrey was put on the throne without Robert's knowledge. Robert was dead, so he didn't know, and he obviously wished it was for when he came of age. But Cersei rushed it, didn't she? She put him on already, which is her on the throne than it is him. I think she tried to be on the throne, but with him sitting on it, Dany and Drogon discuss her desire to reclaim the Iron Throne. He doesn't want his men crossing the sea and doesn't want to talk about getting ships or invading lands across the water just for a throne. He thinks all the men need to rule is a horse, not a throne. Dany, Jorah, and some of her handmaidens go to the local bazaar. There, Jorah goes off on his own to see if there are any letters for him. A young boy tells him there is a message from a spider, Varys, a royal pardon, allowing Jorah to return to the Seven Kingdoms.
The spider sends his greetings and his congratulations. A royal pardon. You can go home now.
A royal pardon. You can go home now. Jeremy says, "Hey Christina, Die Hard is a Christmas movie. Just saying." Did Christina Payne come in the chat? She did indeed. Good to see you, Christina. Thank you for being here. We welcome you. Jeremy says, "I should clarify, I don't think she'd kill Ned in front of a living Robert, just immediately after his death to secure the Lannister line to the throne." Yeah, I can see that. You got me thinking. I love it, and that's why we're doing these, guys. That's why we're doing these. We did read this one, didn't we? We did. Here's a picture for the ladies. I thought we would be, just like give everybody a fair shot, and you can see some man titties because there's enough women titties in this show. So there's some man titties from Aquaman. You're welcome. Do we have any clips to play? No, we do not. So we're going to keep going. A wine merchant is selling his goods. When Dany comes over, he offers her a very special cask of her own. This very best wine he has. Jorah is suspicious, though. He is suspicious because Varys has suddenly freed him from his position as spy. Or is it the way the men react to hearing that Dany is a Targaryen heir? Regardless, he interrupts and toys with the wine merchant for a bit until his suspicions are confirmed and demands that the man taste the wine first. The man panics and runs, but Rocario ropes him into the steer and takes him down, which he does pretty well. At Castle Black, it's time for the assignment of duties. First, Lord Mormont gives a rousing speech about how no matter who or where you come from, or where and how you came here, you are now a brother of the Night's Watch. You fight for the realm and all of the people in it. Once you take the Black, there's no going back. The penalty for desertion is death. Those who believe in the old gods, like Jon, can take their vows tonight near the Weirwood, north of the Wall, like Benjen did. Sam asks if he can join Jon. He was raised by the Seven, not the old gods. But when he becomes a member of the Night's Watch, he is leaving his old house and joining a new one. Love that everybody is getting on in the chat. I love to see everybody introducing themselves. That's what this community is about, guys. These are these council meetings, and you guys are just helping me to do these, and I love that you're all meeting each other. I know you can't see it right now, but Randy from Mystery Madness Collectibles, one of our fellow horsemen, he got my box in a recent Temu surprise box, and he gifted me like this plaque that I have on the wall just here, and it's the Night's Watch quote. The Night's Watch are one of my favorites, if probably not top 2 favorite factions in the Game of Thrones lore. I just love the honor about it and the duty and how it's all about second chance. Every person in the world of deceit and death and greed can still have a second chance, unless you're called Ned Stark. I don't know where that picture went. Sam is assigned to be a steward, assisting Maester Aemond in the library. Everyone expects Jon to be a ranger, but when the jobs are handed out, Jon ends up as a steward for Lord Commander Mormont. He's angry because he doesn't want to be a servant. He wanted to ride out and find his missing uncle. Sam tries to talk sense into Jon, explaining that working with and for the Lord Commander is actually a great opportunity. And there's Blaze with the lame dragons. So Blaze, for you, because we haven't played it in a couple of weeks, here is your screenshot for a couple of seconds, bro, because haters are going to hate, okay? And if you watch the show, you wouldn't be saying lame dragons. That's all I'm saying. So haters gonna hate. But we appreciate you, Blaze. We love you. People are already asking for the banhammer. Oh, I love it. Love it. I don't think I have any clips for right now. Yeah, we do.
You Nelters boys, rise now as men of the Night's Watch.
Love it. I love it. I quite like the little clips in the little grayscale like overlay. I quite like them. They were, I don't know, they encourage like past visions and back in the day, because this is all such old, old footage really for all we've been through. I know some people in the chat have rolled on a little bit further, and this is old news to them. But we're getting through it. We're getting through it. Sam always trying to play peacemaker. Yeah, definitely, completely agree. We're still going on YouTube. That's good to see. Renly approaches Ned with a proposition. He knows that his brother appointed Ned protector of the realm after his death. He also knows that Cersei will not stand by and let that happen. So he offers Ned an army to help him fight the Lannisters by taking Joffrey into custody and away from the Queen immediately. By the time Robert dies, it will be too late for the both of us, he says. Ned is troubled. What about Stannis, Renly's older brother? Again, Renly tries to warn him. There is no time to worry about lines of succession. There is a narrow window that we must be seized. As he points out, succession didn't matter to Ned and Robert when Robert was unseated the Mad King. Why is it an issue now? Oh, snap. It's a very, very good point that I'd like to point out, that Ned is so honourable and sticks to this honour throughout this entire season, and it gets him bloody killed. Why can't he just go back to the way he used to be? Because, he was okay with Robert usurping the throne. Robert wasn't on the throne, it was the Mad King. But because of Liliana and Rhaegar, he saw his, Robert saw his arse and decided to go for the throne, and Ned stood by him then. So why can't he do it now? It's swings and roundabouts. Blaze says, okay, I will leave. I don't offend anyone. Well, sorry. Blaze, what are you on about, bro? You're welcome here, my friend. Yeah, we appreciate you hitting that like button. You're welcome here. You're in a safe place, no matter if people want to ban you. Yep, Ned again with the poor decision making. Again, yeah. Renly. We've got more on Renly coming up in a couple of weeks. What's best for the kingdoms? What's best for the people we rule? These are the ultimate questions facing everybody in Game of Thrones. Who would make the best king or queen? How do you determine what is the best for the realm? Ned is faced with making a split decision that might affect the future of all of Westeros. How do you make that decision? What do you base it on? What does he have to go on? He's been literally forced into this situation in a matter of seconds. Like, what's he going to do? Renly proclaims himself as the rightful king. He commands respect and loyalty. It should fall to him and not Stannis. Ned is furious. Stannis is his idea of a future king, a commander who has led men into war. He destroyed the Greyjoy fleet, ending Balon's rebellion, but Renly challenges him. Robert was a great commander as well, but has been a lousy king. Does Ned still believe great soldiers make great kings? It's a good question to pose to yourself and to ponder when you watch these episodes. And that's why I slapped the wrist of some of you that may have gone a little bit forward, because these questions are going to be harder to answer when you already know the effects and the ramifications of the story going forward. But we can only do one episode a week, unfortunately. Ned has decided, I will not dishonor Robert's last hours by shedding blood in the halls and dragging frightened children from their beds. Another fantastic line. Ned writes a letter to be delivered to Stannis Baratheon in Dragonstone directly. Littlefinger comes in and bows to his Lord Protector. Sarcasm, bitterness. Is in his voice. Ned gets down to business. Robert has no true heir. His children are actually Jaime Lannister's bastards. Hard to read Littlefinger's face. Is this a surprise to him? He recognizes immediately that when Robert dies, Stannis is next in line. Littlefinger thinks there's an out, but Ned has already dug in his heels on this. Everyone that sat on the Iron Throne either took it or shed blood to defend it. Ned wanted no part of it. Yeah, that's true. a very good conversation here between the two of them. Go back and put it in like half speed and just listen to every damn word that they might as well have swords in their hands with the way that they battle each other. Littlefinger's idea is that Ned side with Joffrey and proclaim him the true heir. This is Ned's chance to seize power. He can make peace with the Lannisters, return Tyrion, wed Sansa to Joffrey, and take charge of the realm himself. If Joffrey looks like he'll be a problem, Ned can reveal the truth then. They will have ample time and men and money to defeat Stannis, and if Joffrey has to be revealed a bastard, then Renly can take the throne. Interestingly, that Littlefinger, like Loras Tyrell, both think Renly should be king. What do you guys think of Renly? Where do you put him on the totem pole of the throne? Do you think Renly would have made a good king? Do you think he would have made a bad king? You remember in this world, in my world, it doesn't make a slight bit of difference, but in the Game of Thrones world, he's gay. So he doesn't want to have children. He doesn't want to have heirs. Would that be an issue for the realm going forward? What say you guys? Where do you stand on Renly? Ned won't hear of it. He won't side with the family who tried to kill his son. So Ned will side with Stannis, claim to the throne, and there will be a war. Littlefinger asks why he was summoned, if not for his advice. Ned reminds Littlefinger that he was promised Catelyn, that he would help Ned. Ned knows the Queen has hundreds of guards, enough to defeat his. Ned needs the City's Watch, the Gold Cloaks, all to side with him, but Littlefinger needs Ned. Rhetorically, who will the Gold Cloaks choose? Protect when the hand of the king says one thing and the queen another, the man who pays them. Anonymity says, I always root for the gays. Nice one. That's a good way to go. Jeremy goes, Littlefinger's already had control over everyone in the Red Kingdom. He wanted no part of Stannis taking the throne. Yeah, because he doesn't know what's going on with him, doesn't he? Heading off to bed, guys. Have a good rest of the live and your days. Corey, we salute you. We thank you. Have a good evening. Good luck with the tattoo tomorrow. Looking forward to seeing it if you share it on any of your socials. Check out the rest of the live stream tomorrow or whenever you get a chance. We appreciate it. Thank you very much for coming. Littlefinger says, the man who pays more. Yeah, that's a good point. Very good point. It's time for Jon and Sam to take their vows to become men of the Night's Watch. Their celebration is cut short when Jon's direwolf ghost trots in carrying a dismembered human hand. Freaky. Then we get Aquaman doing some fire dance. Dany and Jorah are talking about the fate of their failed wine assassin. She was assassinated. She was surprised that King Robert would come after her, and Jorah tells her that it won't be the last time. She is the last of the Targaryens, and her child will carry on a dynasty supported by 40,000 soldiers. Khal Drogo comes in, and he is relieved to see Dany unhurt. He thanks Jorah for saving her life and gives him his choice of any horse. He has a gift for his unborn son as well, the Iron Throne. Now he means business. Aquaman is down to get serious, and he does a little fire dance. And I watched the Inside the Episode, which will be coming out as a video. Once the season's ended, I will be doing like quick reactions to all of the Inside the Episode episodes of season 1. And I was disgusted that in episode 7 Inside the Episode, they never once mentioned Khal Drogo. And I was disgusted because he's such a big character in this episode, and he does so much for Dany. He opens her eyes to everything that's literally at her feet if she's willing to accept it and take it as Khaleesi. And they don't talk about it Inside the Episode, so I was a little bit annoyed. King Robert's attempt to get rid of Dany and the Targaryens has backfired in a huge way. Drogon had no intention of leading an army into the Seven Kingdoms. He was happy staying on safe side of the Narrow Sea, but now he will avenge his wife and their child and help them get what is theirs. He is pumped and ready to rain terror, and as he works his men into a frenzy, Dany has never been so turned on. And then good old Ned gets told that Robert's dead. Robert is king no more. King Joffrey has summoned Ned Stark to the throne room, and as he approaches, Littlefinger and Varys are there. Littlefinger promises Ned that the City Watch is on his side, but Lord Renly has left the city, taking Sir Loras Tyrell and some 50 retainers with him. And then I think we have this scene.
All hail his grace, Joffrey of houses Baratheon and Lannister, the first of his name. King of the Andals and the First Men, Lord of the Seven Kingdoms, and Protector of the Realm.
And Protector of the Realm. Prepare the wooden horses, Carl is coming. He is indeed. Yeah, I wonder how they would have got over the sea right at that point, because they don't have boats right now, do they? As Ned approaches the Iron Throne, he is met by Janis Slynt, the commander of the City Watch, who tells him, "We stand behind you, Lord Stark." Ned walks up to find Joffrey seated on the Iron Throne, his mother Cersei seated at his right hand, and the members of the Kingsguard protecting him. Joffrey orders the council to make all necessary arrangements to have him crowned immediately. He is demanding oaths of loyalty from the council. Varys bows, Littlefinger looks to his right, and Ned stares straight ahead. Don't worry, guys, I will not be asking for vows and oaths of loyalty just yet. We'll probably wait till like the third season for that from my council members, but just know it'll come one day. Ned, looking over the stained glass window. Ned asks Sir Barristan Selmy to read the letter that he has from the late king regarding the succession, and he does. Cersei demands to see the letter. She takes the letter and tears it into pieces, asking if Ned intended to use it as his shield. Barristan seems shocked that the Queen would even ignore the king's orders, but she says that we have a new king now, and that is more significant to her than a piece of paper. One of those "oh my god, she did it" moments. Cersei gives Ned one choice and one chance: bend the knee, pledge fealty to Joffrey, and spend the rest of your days in quiet retirement up north. But Ned is a man of honour and stupidity, and he did not betray his friend Robert or the realm, so he refuses. He announces that Joffrey has no claim to the throne, and Cersei says that he condemns himself with his words. She orders Barristan to take Ned into custody. Barristan approaches. Ned tells his men to hold off from attacking Barristan, and when a standoff appears likely, Cersei tests the range of her power. Joffrey has seen enough. He yells, "Kill him." The Mountain goes for his sword. But Ned had his own supporters. He instructs Janis to take the Queen and her court into custody. The men of the City Watch are ready to fight, but Ned wants no bloodshed. He wants to take the throne away from Cersei and Joffrey without resorting to violence. He's been drinking too much milk of the poppy, because that's never going to happen in this room. Ever. It's gone past that point of no return now, where there's no need and there's no space for diplomacy, or however you say that word. Like, it's now the shit's hit the fan, guys. Ned, it's too late. It's too late, bro. And yeah, Cersei looks over at Janis and suddenly realizes what he's actually fighting for. He shouts, "Now!" And his men of the City Watch attack Ned's smaller group of supporters. Littlefinger grabs Ned and puts a dagger to his throat and says, "I did warn you not to trust me." And that was quite a good impression.
I did warn you not to trust me.
I did warn you not to trust me. Littlefinger, you prick. I can't stand him. What the hell just happened? Ned had a letter from the king authorizing him to take over as protector of the realm until his heir came of age. He has proof that Joffrey is not the rightful heir. He had an agreement from Littlefinger, and he had the City Watch, but he didn't have the money the Lannisters have, nor did he have the dishonor to do what it takes, the willingness to shed a little blood when it's called for. He could have revealed the truth before Robert died. He could have negotiated an agreement with Renly to let him sit the throne. He could have had Cersei and her children rounded up and slaughtered, but he chose the honourable path, and now he has a knife at his throat, and his men are dead. Well done, Ned Stark. And that concludes the end of the breakdown for episode 7. We did that in some good timing, guys. We did that in 45 minutes. Which is pretty good. Pretty good. We do have Meme of the Week. Indeed, it's back. I am struggling to get memes, though, just because I don't want to spoil anything for Charles with the Meme of the Weeks. So it's hard to find memes that don't spoil future events or stuff like that. But we're trying for sure. This episode, for me, I am going to rank Episode 7 of Game of Thrones is a 9.6. It's a very good episode. It's filled with lots and lots of just deep intertwined storylines that have such a massive effect going into the future seasons. I think season 2 is the biggest for that. I think season 2 is so filled with deep storylines that pay off later on, which the whole show does, but especially in season 2. But this episode definitely begins that arc, in my opinion. 8.5 out of 10 for Fidel. Means are definitely so random. Puts him as the biggest snake in the show. Yep, I agree. I love that line from Littlefinger. I did tell you not to trust me. Yep, I completely agree. So guys, let's go through Meme of the Week, shall we? If you are enjoying these streams and you want to see more of them and you want to support me a little bit more than just hitting the like button and subscribing to the YouTube channel, you can always consider buying me a coffee over at buymeacoffee.com/Ryan Milky. There you can treat dragons, you can get some behind the scenes stuff, you can also request videos to be made and all that kind of stuff, and you can literally sign up for as little as one coffee a month. It's like $5 a month, I believe, something like that. Yeah, check it out at buymeacoffee.com, guys. I know I'd very much appreciate it, and so would everybody in the council, because the dragons will get fed, and then we won't have to lose so many people from the small folk every time we send them to feed. Because what we do is, if you're a newcomer to the stream, you're usually the front of the queue to go feed the dragons. And if you've seen House of the Dragon, you know how that might work out. So, yeah, guys, let's get into it, shall we? Meme of the week. Here we go. Tonight. Love it. Absolutely love it. Let's go. So brace yourself, because memes are coming. Winter is coming. Here we have it looks like Jaime Lannister has found a girl on a date. And there's a boy creeping in the window. Oh, and he pushed the boy out of the window. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, interesting meme. Hearing your water bottle pop at 3 a.m. would freak anybody out to maybe make you want to stay awake in Harrenhal, right? Here on the left, we have the infamous scene of Rhaenyra and her dragons deciding to stand up to Aemond and Rhaegar, and he just backed off like he was, you know, like, yeah, I don't want any of that. Like, Homelander's like, oh my god. I don't know. Yeah, crazy. Don't worry. There is always a light at the end of the tunnel, guys. Unless the tunnel is that one. Then you're having issues. If Monday morning was a person on the left, completely and utterly agree. Although I don't know about Jeremy. I think he ended a new job today, or maybe started a new job. So Monday might have been a good day for him. When you play the Game of Thrones, you win or you die. Does anybody have fond memories of musical chairs and the battle that ensued once it got down to like 2 or 1 chair? You were willing to fight folk to win that game, or I know I was anyway. Here we just have some information, promo informationals that they did when the show was coming out. I love chess and Game of Thrones, and this fit perfectly. When you play the Game of Thrones, you win or you die. Absolutely love that. I would love a chess set as well. A Game of Thrones chess set would be really cool, actually. You could have like a light side and a dark side, so you could have all of like the main characters and then go against like the Night King and some of the bad characters over on that side. Interesting. Charles, you're a woodworker, my friend. Maybe that's something we need to talk about. See, this is the one I thought of, Jeremy, today on the left here. The day you start your new job, all happy and glorious, and then the day you quit on the bottom. Like, damn, is there a chess set? I don't know. I don't know, Fidel. I don't know. I drink and I know things, but I don't know this thing. If there is, let me know, because, you know, I would want it. Tyrion here says on the top, I'm not happy. Drunk Cersei, his sister, says, which dwarf are you then? You know, sad, sleepy, dark. Which one is it? I don't know. On the left here, you have, I think I'll grow my beard, do a lot of steroids, and sign with the WWE. John says, are you serious? And then he turns into Braun Strowman. I can actually kind of see it. Sam turns into Braun. And the famous one, I want this on a t-shirt here on the right, Crows Before Hoes. I would love that on a t-shirt. I believe there is a chess set. I'll do research. Okay. Love it. So here's a good meme. You learn treasonous secret about your ruthless enemy, and then you tell them that you know, and what you're going to do about it. I think that's the biggest meme of season 1, right? Ned Stark is the biggest meme of season 1. What do you say to George Martin when he wants to kill your character in Game of Thrones? Not this season. Not today. Here is me at the beginning of the season. Here is me at the end of the season. Because it's ending, and I can only do this once on YouTube. So I'm taking all of these moments in, and I'm having fun and remembering all of these moments, because there's only once I can break down the episode. Maybe I can do it again in 10 years' time. You know, maybe I find a wife and she's never seen it. That would need to be a requirement anyway for me to marry you. You would have to have not seen Game of Thrones. That's a requirement. For anybody that's out there wondering. The moment when you find the perfect avocado at the supermarket. That's a good one. I don't eat avocado, but that definitely looks like an avocado to me. And I've seen women in supermarkets looking like that at random pieces of fruit. I don't know what they're going to do with the fruit sometimes, but I've seen people just staring at it. Here is a good image of the Queen before she passed. When you play the Game of Thrones, you win or you die. Yeah. Blaze is available. Just saying. That's a good point. He's never seen Game of Thrones. And sometimes he can be a little bitch. Yeah. Yeah. 2 qualities I look for in a female. Interesting. I will never look at an avocado the same way again. Yeah, here's an image of the Queen saying that when you play the Game of Thrones, you win or you die, and she's looking badass there with her white gloves and the whatever weapon that is. And that's the end there. But we do have a video meme that I found this week as well. I know Mitchie will appreciate this one. I don't think she's here this evening, so we will make sure that we mark her as absent on the register. Naughty, Mitchie. Perfectly said, Milky. I spat my drink out. Yeah, the little bitch comment. Oh, there we've seen Alan 3 times, so that will be in there, guys. We'll play Alan, and then I do have a new one for you that we'll play.
Alan! 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 Al! Alan! 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 Alan!
The Copacabana. Music and fashion is always the passion at the Copa. Hey! Are you filming me in the bath? Get out! Away, man, I'm naked. You better not put it on YouTube.
Oh, so that's not Alan. Steve, Steve. Steve! 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 Steve!
Yeah. Shame, Mitchie. Shame. You can actually buy the bell. We can actually band together as a community and buy the bell. And then when people don't turn up to community council meetings when they are required to, we can shame the bell for their displeasure. That's a very, very good idea, Jeremy. And I like it. I like it a lot. But we do have a meme. We're going to play it. We found it. Let me know what you think.
Naijot Maziz Vermitus. Vermitus Lukiri. Lukiri. Lohairas.
Don't even know what to say, guys. I don't even know what to say. How the fuck have Shrek done it again? They did it with the intro music, and now they do it with Donkey and the... I've seen that scene 100 times from Shrek where Donkey argues back with the big dragon, and people have put it to the Rhaenyra Dohydrus stuff with Vermithor, and it fits perfectly. I don't know. I really, really don't know. But yeah, that is a pretty... Yeah, I don't need to play it again, Ryan. You played it already. We'll play the tapestry.
Perhaps Prince Damon would care for a tour of the gallery. He hasn't yet seen the new tapestries gifted to you by Novus and Quahor.
Would you like to see the tapestry?
guys, that's it. We have done it. We've done Meme of the Week. We've done the breakdown for episode 7. Next week, we're going to be back next Monday for episode 8. The Pointy End. I think that's called Sticking with the Pointy End. In that episode, we will be seeing Arya with her first kill. Unfortunately, we will see Arya with her first kill, which is an interesting storyline going forward with Arya and where she goes. For anybody that cares, I am reading the book again, the first Game of Thrones book. I am about halfway through it. I started when I went to Ireland, and I stopped at the Eddard chapter. So we are about to get deep into Ned's point of view chapters, and that, you know where that's going, guys, to episode 9. I don't know if anybody's read the books, but reading Ned's demise from Ned's point of view is even more heartbreaking than watching it. I don't know if anybody ever has that emotion when reading, but there are only a very few handful of books in the world that I have read and have seen my own tears drip to the page whilst reading. Not many reading articles and books can do that, but Game of Thrones, and especially Ned's point of view in episode 9, is definitely heart-wrenching from the books. Just about halfway. Yeah, just about halfway. I'm going to probably finish the book for the rest of this breakdown, and then I'm going to be reading the books along with you guys as we go forward, because that's how I bring you the knowledge that I have and all this kind of stuff. I always make sure that I'm tip-top on all of that stuff, but I have been keeping a lot of book stuff out just because I know you guys are diving into them as well, which I've asked you guys to do or have suggested that you guys do. So yeah, I don't want to give away too many cool things. But we will be getting into it. I am going to be making in retrospective video, Game of Thrones in retrospect. That's what I'll be doing. I probably advise Charles not to watch that video because I will be going into at certain points. I was working on it yesterday, and there was a 6-minute portion of the video where it's foreshadowing and how everything foreshadows in the first season for what's to come, and I don't want to ruin it for Charles, but I know that everyone else has seen this show, and I don't want to not provide content for all of those people that have seen the show. I don't want to hold off until Charles gets there. I'd rather just let Charles know, don't watch this video, you can watch this video, and things like that, and we'll keep him safe. And I know you guys will keep him safe as well with spoilers and not posting things in the group chat and all that. But yeah, I really, really, really appreciate all of you. Got to read some Nicholas Sparks. Okay. Don't do that, whoever that is. So some of the questions that I asked, I was going to pose to Charles, guys. We'll go through these real quickly. We have this at the bottom here. Please consider smashing the like button, subscribe if you have enjoyed this stream, and check out buymeacoffee.com/RyanMilky14 or Ryan Milky, sorry, to find ways to support the realm and also feed the dragons. Collect your balls, people. The council meeting is wrapped. Yes, it is. It is indeed. We're on the hour mark. I'm just going to quickly go through some of these questions that I had for Charles. So I asked Charles, what do you think about Ned Stark's decision to confront Cersei instead of using the information about her and Jaime to his advantage? And I answered this with, Ned's choice to confront Cersei about her relationship with Jaime shows his unwavering sense of honor. Instead of using this knowledge to secure power, he warns her, allowing her the chance to flee. However, this is the cutthroat world of King's Landing, and the decision falls naive. By not playing political game, he underestimates Cersei's ruthlessness and the lengths that she will go to protect her family. While Ned's moral compass is admirable, the decision likely puts him in grave danger. That's how I answered that one. Question 2 for Charles would have been, Tywin Lannister makes his appearance here in this episode. What was your initial impression of him, especially in the scene where he's skinning the stag? My answer to that one was Tywin's introduction, where he is calmly skinning a stag while discussing matters of power, immediately sets the tone for his character. He is pragmatic, calculating, and sees power as the ultimate prize. His cold demeanor and ability to handle such a brutal task without flinching reveals his strengths and determination. He views the world in a harsh, realistic way, shaping the way he sees the Lannister family's hunger for dominance. That's how I asked that one. And the third and final question I gave to Charles this week was Jon Snow's disappointment at being made a steward rather than a ranger is palpable. How do you think this will impact his future at the Wall? And I answered this with, Jon's frustration at being assigned to the stewards rather than the rangers is understandable. He feels his skills as a fighter are being wasted, and he views it as a personal failure or slight. However, this assignment could be seen as a strategic move by Lord Commander Mormont, who may have plans for Jon beyond the duties typically associated as a steward. Jon's future at the Wall might actually be brighter than he realizes, and he's being placed in a position to learn leadership. So they are the 3 questions that I would have posed to Charles if he would have made it this evening, but unfortunately he couldn't because of work, and we appreciate him nonetheless, and he can hopefully answer down below in the comments down below on the 3 questions. But guys, that is it. My name has been Ryan. You guys have been absolutely fantastic, and this has been a council meeting for Game of Thrones Breakdowns, Episode 7, You Win or You Die. I hope to catch you all next week, next Monday, 7:30 p.m. Central for Episode 8, Sticking with the Pointy End. As always, I've been Ryan. This evening I wasn't joined by Papa Missouri, but you can check him out, linked in the description down below. And also on my homepage, you'll find council members that are with us. I love you. I appreciate you. And when you play the Game of Thrones, you win or you die. Good night. Oh, I'm still here. I didn't even end fucking stream. What am I like? Guys, I appreciate it. I can't believe I just did that. Oh, that's going in the blooper reel. That's going in the blooper reel.